Broadcasting from our studios in the Broadcasting from our studios in the Pine St. Michael, this is CBC Newsnight, starting now.
This segment of Weekend Newsnight, brought to you by Sagicor, wise financial thinking for life.
Very good evening to you. I'm Lisa Broom. In our top story tonight, in the next few hours, Barbadians will have a clearer picture of how much of an impact Tropical Storm Dorian will have on the island. The country is currently under a tropical storm warning, and that's because the storm, based on the current forecast, is expected to pass just south of Barbados sometime tomorrow evening. Well, joining us live now to bring the latest on the storm is meteorologist Wayne McGarry. Now, Wayne, at 5 o'clock, we heard that we were upgraded to a warning and that there was some strengthening in the system.
Yes, Lisa. Good evening to you, Lisa, and good evening to our viewers. Now, at 5 p.m., Tropical Storm Dorian was located 11.5 degrees north, 54.2 degrees west, or about 375 miles to the east-southeast of Barbados. Now, maximum sustained winds have increased to 50 miles per hour, and the system now extends about 35 miles from the center, so the system has grown as well. Now, the system is tracking towards the west at about 14 miles per hour, and on this current track, the system will pass near or just south of Barbados late tomorrow evening. Now, although the system will pass to the south of the island late tomorrow evening, around 8 p.m. or so, the shower activity will start to gradually come across the island. By mid-morning, we see a gradual deterioration in conditions, pockets of moderate to heavy showers, scattered thunderstorms, of course, an increase in wind speeds as well will start to move across the island. So, of course, those of you living in flood-prone areas take the necessary precautions. Some flash flooding will be likely, of course. Swells, of course, we're looking at 2.5 to 3.5 meters, which is approximately 8 to 12 feet. So a high surf advisory and small craft warning will be in effect, and I'll tell you a bit more about that later. So, of course, though, with this system moving across the area and approaching Barbados, we urge you to take all the necessary precautions, of course, with this system, and listen out for further updates as the system has the potential to strengthen over the next few hours. Lisa?
Thank you very much. That was Wayne McGarry, our meteorologist, and Wayne will be back with a full weathercast later on in the news. Hope for the best, but prepare for the worst. Prime Minister Mia Motley couldn't stress that point enough when she delivered a wide-ranging live press conference today, updating Barbadians on the impending passage of Tropical Storm Dorian. Shane Jones was there.
Around tomorrow night at 8 o'clock, the center of the system is expected to pass just south of Barbados. We are at 13 degrees north and 59.5 degrees west, approximately. And that places the system very, very close to the on the southern periphery of Barbados.
Well, that's what we know at this point. However, in just about an hour or so, the hurricane hunter will enter the system and we will get another update. Now, acting on that information, Prime Minister Mia Motley has been meeting all day with key entities in the public and private sectors to bring Barbados to an acceptable state of readiness. She's not leaving anything to chance.
The one thing that the Met Office has reinforced with us is that the ability to predict the intensity of the storm is not very good. and therefore it can strengthen on us over the course of the next few hours.
The Prime Minister has urged the public to stay glued to their communication devices tonight and only monitor and share information from reliable media outlets like the CBC.
At this point in time, the country will remain open tomorrow morning, but if after the reconnaissance aircraft goes in and we need to make adjustments to the shutdown policy, we will do so. At this point in time, we anticipate that the country will shut down by midday. The bottom line is that we do expect some outer bands, Met Office, and some squalls that may affect the country. And therefore, even though you may be open in the morning, we ask people to take care and to ensure that they do everything, because our utmost priority as we prepare is first and foremost, my friends, to save lives and to minimize injury to any human being. After that, we then look at securing to ensure we minimize damage to property.
Now, district emergency officers as well as shelter wardens met this evening to prepare, and Prime Minister Motley led a team across parts of the island that needed urgent attention ahead of the storm. Equipment has been deployed to remove the blockages from areas that flood easily.
We know some of them already. We know that we have difficulties in Bridgetown. We know that we have difficulties in Speightstown. Equipment is down by the salt pond, going to clear there as we speak. We know that there are difficulties with respect to parts of Christchurch and St. Philip, and we are meeting and treating to this exercise not as a government exercise, but we have engaged all of the major contractors and equipment owners in the country.
The Sanitation Service Authority and private waste haulers have been engaged to deal with garbage, but the Prime Minister has urged communities to come together to also help clear messy areas around their homes. She says the SSA will make a service available for bulky garbage that needs to be removed.
If there are piles of galvanized just lying down, they need to be moved, because a galvanized can become a guillotine with a high wind.
Prime Minister Motley drove home the point that every Barbadian must be responsible for their preparation.
Focus on just getting yourself ready at home. The first responsibility for yourself is by you.
The Barbados Defence Force and the Royal Barbados Police Force have pledged they will be out in numbers throughout the duration of the storm. In an effort to ensure Barbadians are as prepared as possible, many supermarkets have agreed to remain open until 9 tonight. Shane Jones, CBC News.
Thanks, Shane. And Barbadians can get rid of their bulky waste. Chairman of the Sanitation Service Authority, Senator Rudy Grant, has advised that people can take any bulky waste which may act as a projectile during the storm to the SSA's site at Bagatelle in St. Thomas from 8 to tonight. Senator Grant said the Bagatelle site will remain open until a national shutdown is announced. In addition, the chairman stated that the mangrove landfill in St. Thomas is open and will remain open until the shutdown. People can also call the SSA's hotline at 535-5006 to have their bulk waste removed. And during the passage of Tropical Storm Dorian, the Caribbean Broadcasting Corporation will be on air to keep the public informed and updated on any new developments.
Our role, of course, is to provide accurate and reliable information for all of you. This is absolutely nothing new to us. We have the fine example of a former general manager, Dr. Alison Leacock, who remained on set for about 12 hours in 2004 tracking Hurricane Ivan. And the majority of you sitting around this table have been part of teams over the years that have tracked hurricanes and storms. We will do it. Our broadcasts will start early in the evening, and we will remain until sometime after the all clear is given. Our task, of course, is to keep the nation calm and give them that quiet assurance that the authorities are doing all possible to ensure that they remain safe.
More support will be coming for micro, small and medium enterprises with the relaunch of the Small Business Development Center Network. This from Minister of Small Business, Entrepreneurship and Commerce, Dwight Sutherland. He says a strong entrepreneurial culture is necessary for sustained economic development, and it is government's policy to facilitate the growth of these enterprises.
the Cabinet of Barbados has recently approved the relaunch of the Small Business Development Center Network to call the Small Business Development Barbados. This network, led by the Small Business Unit in my ministry, is expected to, among other things, create and capture the economic impact of micro, small, and medium enterprise businesses in Barbados and to assist businesses in their progression along the growth chain to eventually become sustainable, profitable, and commercial entities.
The Commerce Minister was speaking at the closing of an entrepreneurship workshop at the Shekinah Wesleyan Holiness Church. 14 people completed the 6-week workshop and among themselves launched 11 businesses. Minister Sutherland noted workshops such as these are integral in promoting the entrepreneurship culture across Barbados, and he encouraged the new small business people to think globally when looking for markets for their products.
Countries don't compete. Enterprises and businesses compete. And indeed, for you to reach that ex-regional marketplace, we have to begin not only to create products, services, but to differentiate these products that they create a competitive advantage that you indeed can make money on the global stage and indeed enhance Barbados' competitiveness on a global scale.
Local businesses and the average citizen can play a part in helping the Ministry of Health bring its medical facilities across the island up to scratch. This comment from Health Minister Lieutenant Colonel Jeffrey Bostick, who was speaking during a tour of the Randall Phillips Polyclinic in Oistins. The polyclinic has been closed for almost 5 weeks due to an environmental issue, but the Health Minister notes due to the collaborative efforts of various ministries, governmental organizations and staff, it will be reopening on Monday. He says the ministry does not have the resources needed to refurbish and outfit all of its facilities and will be reaching out to the public for assistance.
What we are doing right now is putting together a package so that we can solicit the assistance of corporate Barbados and the general public. In the same way that we were able to refurbish a ward at the St. Michael District Hospital or Geriatric Hospital, utilizing contributions from the public and corporate Barbados and the technical skills of the Barbados Defence Force. We believe strongly that this is the way to go.